Welcome back, everybody, to Season 2 of Nintendo Rewind. My name is Cody Krishna. I'm joined by my co-host, Chris Becker. We're rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo. Actually, it's not last week for Nintendo. It's the entirety of Nintendo by talking about the top 101 games of all time. You're tuning into part 3 of our 4-part series. If you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to click that like button and say hey. And if you're here on Twitch, know that you're our favorite. But before we dive in, how is it going, Christopher Becker?
You know, I'm glad you asked. Hold on. I have to mute. I don't want to hear.
Mute who?
I mean, listen, it's bad enough these people got to hear me. I don't want to hear myself.
Oh, man.
Let me just say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Like, I gotta say, Diva Down, you know? Have you ever heard
Diva
that
Never Down. Diva Never Down is what I thought it was.
Well, then Diva Never Down, Diva Up.
Only Up. Yeah, Diva Only Up. I thought that was what the whole thing was. Oh, man.
How do you feel about dill pickles?
The baby or the food?
Pardon? What baby?
From Rugrats. Tommy Pickles' little brother.
No, just the food.
I don't really care for dill pickles that often. Like, I have to get in the mood for them. Like, it's one of those things where I like them with, like, a cheeseburger. Not on a cheeseburger. I want a dill pickle spear to the side, not like the discs that they're going to throw on there and ruin the entire burger. I don't want your pickle juice on there.
You're saying it's going to ruin the entire burger?
Mm-hmm. Yes. No one wants to bite into that texture.
Pardon, what do you mean?
Pardon, what do I mean? I said what I meant. And I meant what I said when I said I don't need a dill pickle ruining the texture of a burger. Like, or the taste, or any of it. Like, honestly, keep that green nasty away from there.
You won't even just toss back a pickle on its own.
Mostly no. Mostly no. Like I said, I will have a dill pickle spear to the side of a cheeseburger. I like that because I can control when it goes into my mouth. If it's on the burger, I can't control when that's going in there. And then on top of that, I don't want it actually like as a part of the main bite. I want it as a side bite. And I don't want pickles any other time either. Only with a cheeseburger.
So only with a cheeseburger, but not with a cheeseburger.
With a cheeseburger, not on a cheeseburger.
Yeah, you're talking way too much about mouthfeel. Listen, let me tell you something.
Tell me. Tell me.
about pickles. They're pretty good.
In context, this is weird. Sacra says out of context, this is weird in the live chat. In context, it's weird. I know I'm over here talking about mouthfeel and how it tastes and keeping the green stuff away from my mouth, but you know, it's just even in context, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you don't like pickles, but what was the best thing you ate all week?
So this past week we went and visited with my sister, and my mom and my dad did Christmas stuff with her, and we went to this local place where she lives called Malone's.
This is the first time hearing of it.
No, it's not. You're such a liar. But we went to this place called Malone's, and it's kind of like this mishmash, like restaurant where there's like it's the main restaurant is called Malone's, but they also have like a Harry's menu and an Aqua menu, and Harry's is like cheeseburgers kind of food, and Aqua is like sushi, and Malone's is like fancy foods. So it's like all these different menus that you can order from. And I ordered what I had was when you get there, there was bread with garlic butter, like fresh baked bread with garlic butter. It was like a baguette. It was really good. And then right after that, I had something called the Lexingtonian salad, which was also really good. But it reminded me, and everyone kept telling me, no, it's not what it's like. But it reminded me in terms of flavor of a Caesar salad, but it also had tomatoes and bacon for some reason. And that was pretty good. And then as an appetizer, I had potato skins. And after I ate the potato skins, I had sushi come out, and I had tuna sushi, and then right after that, I had a Wagyu Kobe beef burger that was pretty good too. So I had a lot of food that day, and I felt miserable the rest of the day, but it was really good. So like that's probably the best thing I had to eat. What's the best thing you had to eat? I took you on a food journey.
You like bread? You like bread?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you liked bread or not.
I don't know who doesn't like bread except for people with gluten problems.
Well, there's some people that don't like things too bready, you know? They just don't like it as bready as other people.
And those people are wrong. Oh, now my sister's in the live chat saying me. She doesn't like bread.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's fine. She's wrong.
Sarah
Bread is
doesn't like
good bread.
I will. What's the best thing I ate this week? Probably, I will say. So you know, I've talked about Pizza Quicks before in here around this part.
Fast pizza
around this part of town. Fast pizza on English muffins. So I get the sauce and the cheese, put it on the Pizza Quick. But I was like, I'm gonna make some Pizza Quicks. And I had a friend suggest, hey, why don't you, if you're making the Pizza Quicks, why don't you throw some jalapenos on them?
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos, bourbon, you know, the huge. And so why don't you throw some jalapenos on there? And
Bourbon
so
Toll
that's
House.
Bourbon Toll House. It's a great place. You should go. I've been there plenty of times. I have
to visit Bourbon to lose.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did that. I added what I did was, what had happened was I put the sauce on the English muffin, then I put the cheese, then I put it in the oven at 375 for 10 minutes, right? And then after the cheese melted, then I took it out, put the jalapenos and pepperoni on it, and then I threw it back in for 4 more minutes. Then I took it out. You're not going to believe this.
No way.
I ate it afterwards.
What?
Yeah. I went ahead and ate it.
How could you? So was it good then? That was the best thing you had this week?
That might have been the best thing I had this week. Yeah.
Well, good.
Well,
You know,
that, and I think I talked about these pretzels last time. Yeah.
no, you talked about them with me privately during a Fortnite episode, but you didn't talk to the live chat or the podcast audience about it.
They got the rolled gold pretzels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got, let's see here, they got the old Doritos Cool Ranch. They're like the twisty pretzel twists.
Yeah.
And I got the Cool Ranch. Hold on. I got 3 flavors. I got Cool Ranch. What's the other one I got? Pardon? Flamin' Hot Honey Mustard.
And barbecue, I think is what you said.
No, I did not say that. I said, knock it off. Yeah, I got the, thank you, sir. I got the Flamin' Hot Honey Mustard, and then I got the dill pickle.
Mm-hmm.
They also had the garlic.
Is this why we were talking about dill pickles to start the episode off?
Yeah, because I saw them over there, and it made me think of it. I saw them, and it made me think of it, and so that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll just think things, and then I'll ask. So I know a lot of things about people just from random questions I ask. Some people I ask more than others. Some people I'll think of a crazy question and then won't ask it. But
right.
Other people, I'll just ask anything that pops into my head. It's an adventure.
Saki in the live chat said best thing she ate this week was a Philly cheesesteak. She said it wasn't great as far as they went, but it was still a cheesesteak. And you, as a near to Philadelphia person, in some ways,
excuse me,
you have opinions on Philly cheesesteaks.
I'm within the city limits. Thank you very much.
Hold on now. Is that town that you're in actually part of Philly or not?
Flourtown is a part of the city limits, based on the jurisdiction.
based on the
Bourbon. Yeah, based on the if you look at the grid,
house.
Yeah, if you're looking at the voting, yeah.
What's your opinions on Philly cheesesteaks?
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes they get onions in them, and when you cook onions,
aren't onions supposed to be in them?
Knock it off. It's not. Here's the problem.
That's a genuine question. Aren't they supposed to be in it?
They're in quite a few of them, but they're not always my favorite. Like cooked onions are kind of slimy.
Yeah.
But you don't have them in all of them. Some of them, and then you got the with or without. Like if you want them with the cheese or without the cheese, but usually it's just like cheese sauce. How do you feel about cheese sauce?
I like any kind of fake cheese. So listen, I'm over here talking about how much I like Kraft American cheese slices, the dairy product.
We were talking about mac and cheese, and you said you'll make mac and cheese, and then what do you do after you make yourself a bowl of mac and cheese? To
make them a little bit more cheesy, because I like the Kraft macaroni and cheese, and to make it a little more cheesy, I'll go grab 2 slices of Kraft American cheese out of the fridge and just right into the pot. Just
into the pot?
And then melt it into it and keep stirring. Like, it's good. I don't know what's wrong with people who don't do that. I mean, you're already eating Kraft powdered cheese. It's already not cheese. Why are you upset about? Yeah, I'm throwing in some singles in there, baby.
I don't know. I just don't feel right about it.
Listen, you can thank me for it later. And you know who else we can thank? We can thank our amazing, generous supporters and producers from over at NintendoRewind.com. If you would like to directly support our content, every dollar spent on memberships and merch helps us continue to produce this show. There's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you get a shout out right here. That said, I want to thank our supporters and producers, Calamity Nolan, Sierra Christian, Kiatic, and Mnemonic Man. Well, I almost said a different supporter. It doesn't support us anymore. Shout out to that person too. They're still a great person for all of their gracious support here on Nintendo Rewind. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. That stuff means a whole lot. But we did get something else cool this last week that I've been in the process of reviewing. I'm not ready to give a full review of it, but I do want to talk about it before we dive into the main topic. And that is, we got this Co-ops, which is like an Amazon brand, they've got an Amazon Choice and a whole bunch of different things on there where they sell like cases and different things like that. they reached out to us and said they wanted to send us a grip that they're putting out into the world called the Co-ops P2 split grip. And I've been trying it out for like 24 hours. I want to give it a little bit more time before we give it like a full review of it. But I did want to mention it on the show because they have like 2 weeks until their Kickstarter is over. And if you want to go and support that and get a grip for your Switch 2, so far I've really enjoyed the one that they've sent us. But it is a case that has space in the front, like a clamshell cover that has space in the front for games. I don't have any Switch 2 games. I bought all mine digitally. But it is a full-on grip with like really awesome grippy texture, like its own kickstand. The Joy-Cons are still removable, and like you can see, they still have grip as well. But for the Switch 2, really, really cool. And if you want to check it out, go check out their Kickstarter. It's really easy to Google. I found it yesterday and sent it over to Chris. You can help support a product that, like, so far I've been pretty happy with. But we'll have a full review video up on the channel in the next few days once I have a little bit more time with it. But I've enjoyed it so far. That's it.
That's good.
We're not sponsored by them or anything, but but that is just a quick mention because we got like 2 weeks left on the Kickstarter. Without any further ado, though, because we're gonna be live till like 11:30, because we've been live until like 11:30 every night that we've done this topic. We're gonna get into the main topic, so hang tight. We'll see you right after this jump. This week, we're in part 3 of a 4-part series where we're breaking down our top 101 Nintendo games of all time. We're covering games numbered 49 through 25. And I feel like for the 3rd time in a row, I need to say this. Every single game on this list is a banger, and any of them could have been number 1 in the right person's eyes. And are we going to have hot takes? Of course we're going to have hot takes. Is there one that maybe didn't make the list that you wish did? Definitively, yes. That said, this is our list. Get over it. Get out of our comments complaining about what we put on this list or not. All these games are worthy to be on our top 101. And we're going to kick it off with the very first game. But Chris is going to be introducing the actual game this week. And Chris, whenever you're ready, take it away, my good sir.
Listen, I would love to do it. You know why? Because we're talking about Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. Now, this is a game that I have played through multiple times. I played through it on the GBA. I played through the remake on the 3DS, was it?
Yeah, it was on 3DS.
With no
plus Bowser's
3D.
Minions.
Yeah. I played through it on the Wii U when it came to that. But yeah, it is I loved the Mario and Luigi series as a whole, but then this loved it. I just love like the action RPG, like the action combat, and how it's like, oh, you got to jump, dodge, hit them. I mean, you know, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga walked so Claire Expedition. Well, you know, there's games before Mario and Luigi, but still. What did you think of Mario and Luigi?
God, I loved this game, and I like this was my very first introduction into Mario RPGs. Like, I didn't have Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. I skipped over Paper Mario 64. I didn't even play Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars on the SNES. This was my first like Mario RPG experience. And dude, from the writing to the way they characterized all of the people that are in this, to the like zany, wacky world, the pixel art in it, like it top tier stuff in this game. Like, I love this game. The first time I played through it though, I had a action replay for the Game Boy Advance back in the day, so I was cheating my way through it the first time I ever played through it. Yeah, I was cheating my way through it.
Bit of a cheaty McCheaterson.
Yeah, I was. But it was really good still yet, even back then. But I didn't register much of the story. And then, you know, a few years later, as I got older, I played through it the right way. And then, like, most recently, like within the last year, I've played through this I had done RetroArch and let a buddy of mine, Team Wildwood, you'll see them often in the chat, Team Wildwood and his wife Nerded Art. He and I, and then also I Am Tenderly, and then also Commodore Zed, we played co-op. So where each of us only controlled the jumps for one character. So I was Mario and Wildwood was Luigi, or Tenderly or Zed took over Luigi whenever Wildwood couldn't join. And playing it that way was like, it made me crave an actual like multiplayer turn-based RPG in this fashion. Like, it would have been cool to get it like actually co-op someday. And that's what I'd kind of hoped for in some ways when the 3DS remake came, and it never came out like that. It was still very much true to form of the Mario and Luigi franchise, where, it's a single player game where you're controlling multiple characters. But I love this game. I legitimately love this game, and it's one of the best like RPG style experiences for Mario and Luigi that you could possibly ever hope for. Huge shout outs to Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. And while the sequels didn't really live up to the original as much for me, including like the most recent one, Mario and Luigi Brothership, I still love almost all of the Mario and Luigi games for their own like good reasons.
Yeah. And then not only that, but then if there is a new Mario and Luigi on the Switch too, it could have game share.
Yep. That would be a hope. I'm doubtful. I am doubtful, but I would really like it if they did game share for it. It's just they never want to take this whole multiplayer.
Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga being at 49th like totally makes sense to me. It's like an amazing, like a really, really solid game. Just still, holds up to this day beautifully.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
We get into number 48, and we're talking Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Nintendo Switch. For those of you guys who maybe don't know, I'm a bit of a Luigi's Mansion fiend. Love Luigi's Mansion 1, love Luigi's Mansion 3. We don't talk about Dark Moon, but Luigi's Mansion is so charming, and this specific entry in the franchise is one that deserves to be talked about forever. I mean, honestly, like the animations that they did in this, the way that they did the characterization of Luigi. When we first got introduced to the Luigi's Mansion franchise, that's really where we saw his personality start to kind of shine as the, cowardly but puts on a brave face younger brother of Mario. And they do such a good job just cartoonifying the Mario cast in this franchise in a way that I don't think it's been cartoonified quite as much in other iterations of this franchise, of the Mario franchise. But I freaking love the gameplay loop in this game. I love the way that Luigi controls in this game. I liked the addition of Gooigi and the puzzles that you're solving with him. Polterpup for life, or for death, I guess. Polterpup until we die.
Yeah.
But I love this game. And when it came out, I had argued that it should have came out like a week before because it released on Halloween. And I really wanted it to come out just a little bit earlier to kind of keep me in that spooky mood, because you get past Halloween, you're going into Thanksgiving season. You're like, I want to talk about Thanksgiving now. But no,
Thanksgiving,
it came
you
out,
mean Christmas.
Yeah, I mean skip straight to Christmas. Whatever.
We go from
but
November 1st, Christmas on.
The gameplay loop in this game was so good. The areas that they put you in were great. The way the game controlled was probably the best it's ever controlled in the entire franchise. The storyline that they've set up was so unique and so cool, where you're going to this hotel instead of like inheriting a mansion. Yeah. I really like this game, and I love the way it looks. I love the way it plays. Like, it just holds up extremely, extremely well. And I freaking love Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, it's a great game. Love the animation of Luigi's Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And then just Luigi walking around going, Mario,
mm-hmm.
Oh, Mario. And then when the ghosts are around, he's like, Mario. It's great. Love it. Phenomenal.
Amazing game. We're very worthy of being 48th place on our list, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, 47.
47. Here we come.
Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. I mean, why stop at Red and Blue when you got Yellow as well? Pokemon. This is a game. I don't remember how old I was when Pokemon came out, but I remember being like, wait, so these games are out in Japan and they're not out here yet? I remember being a kid thinking, maybe I'll take a drive to Japan real quick. But I did not. But yeah, Pokemon, I like Pokemon. You got to catch them all, even Pikachu. Well, unless you get Pokemon Yellow, then you could start with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what there is to say about Pokemon that hasn't already been said, but yeah, it's a great game. I love me some Pokemon. What about you? Are you a Pokemon fan?
I was.
Have you ever called any Pokemon?
But I've fought a few Pokemon, actually.
I mean, it's no Pokemon Snap, but what do you think of Pokemon?
You're completely right. It is no Pokemon Snap. But I think that works in his favor most of the time, actually.
Whoa, wait.
It was a hot take. But
No,
Pokemon
Snap slander.
So I remember when I got my copy of Pokemon Blue. So I've told this story before where I traded a WWE, WCW, whatever the wrestling was called back in the day for N64. I traded a copy of that for Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, right? The same buddy that I traded that game, I ended up trading him another game, and I can't even remember what game I traded him for Pokemon Blue. And so that was like my first introduction to Pokemon was Pokemon Blue version. And from that day on, let me tell you straight up, like I was a Bulbasaur fan for life. I liked Bulbasaur a lot and have loved Bulbasaur to this day. Like I cannot tell you how much I like Bulbasaur, and I can't show you either because my cameras aren't set up for it, but I've got tons of like Bulbasaur like design knickknacks and tchotchkes just chilling over here to the side beside me. But I freaking love Bulbasaur. And anyone, listen, we got Sakura in the live chat, and I don't want to have any dragon slander going on here, but she's saying Charizard is the best. Charizard is definitively the easiest Pokemon to use in that game. And so I slandered Charizard so bad because A, he was the strongest, but B, he was the easy mode pick. But freaking loved Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. I ended up getting Yellow version like a little bit later on down the road, and then whenever I realized, oh wait, this is the same game just with a Pikachu who can surf, it didn't click for me in quite the same way until like Gold and Silver came out, and then I've told about my Gold and Silver experience, but Blue really started my love for Pokemon and needs to be held in high regard because it is like the most definitive Pokemon that you could possibly have. There's a reason we've had like 3 different remakes of that generation of game, and it's because that Pokemon game holds up so well even to this day.
Oh yeah, it really does. And that's definitely why we have that one over the ones. Was that on the GBA?
Was that on the GBA?
Yeah, right. The remake of
yes, Fire Red and Leaf Green were on the GBA,
and they came with like the wireless adapter thing to transfer. Yeah,
really good remake too, like solid remake. Probably the better remake of the 2 that we've actually gotten with like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee as well. Like I would say Fire Red, Leaf Green are really good. They hold up to this day too, but I still go back to the originals because I just love the way that they look. I love the pixel art. I love the Game Boy aesthetic, and it holds up really, really well to this day. So man, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, number 47. We get into number 46 on our top 101 games of all time. And it's, I love this game, but not everyone does. Here's looking at you, Christopher. I love this game, but not everyone does.
Thank you for looking at me.
And it's Super Mario Sunshine. I freaking love Super Mario Sunshine with everything in my heart. Super Mario Sunshine is one of those games that, like, it's weird. and it takes some really big chances by introducing this new mechanic of flood and makes Mario out to be a criminal and sets up this crazy storyline. And I still argue to this day this is the canonic game that follows Super Mario World, because they need to go on a vacation afterwards. Well, finally they get that vacation, right? So they go to Isle Delfino. But this game is so charming. The music is good. That graphically, it still holds up to this day. If you play the Switch version of it, you can see that it still looks really, really, really good. But I just love the atmosphere. I love the way that this Mario holds itself together. I love the platforming levels that are extremely difficult. I love the island vibes. It made me reminisce about, taking family trips to the beach back in the day whenever I was playing through this and like longing to go on another family vacay. I love this game. And I wish more people loved this game as much as I do, but that's why it's as high on this. I mean, it's above Super Mario 64, like on our top 101 games. It's because of my love for this game as much as I adore it. But Chris, I know that you hate Super Mario Sunshine, so tell everybody about how you feel about it.
Yeah, I wish it was lower. No, I'm just kidding.
I hate you.
Thank you. I hate me too. Super Mario Sunshine is, like you said, it still looks good graphically. I like being able to shoot the water and then jumping and sliding on my stomach and then just going for a long time. I like that. That's fun. That's enjoyable. I like the triggers for shooting the water, how you can like tap it or like hold it down or push it all the way down to get the different you're shooting out the water at different pressures. I like that. Yeah, I mean, Mario Sunshine, it's not terrible, but it's also not my favorite 3D Mario game. Of the 3D Mario games, it's good. It's fine. It's Mario Sunshine. What do you want me to say? Why are you staring at me? What are you looking at me like
nicer
that for?
Things. Be nicer to this game.
I feel like I've been extremely nice just now.
This is like when those TikToks came out where it's like the girlfriend comes out and is like, my boyfriend's going to tell you about his Pokemon collection and I need you to be nice to him. And it's like your co-host is going to tell everybody about his favorite 3D Mario, and everybody better be nice to him.
Yeah, everyone be nice to Cody about this, please. I don't want to hear people not being nice.
No, heck no. But no, Mario Sunshine, man, I love this game. Being at 46th on our list makes complete sense. There is a game that's better than it, and it goes up to number 45. What game are we going to talk about now, Christopher?
It's the Knight with the Shovel. Shovel Knight. Love Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight. Shout out to Shovel Knight. Got a nice, delicious Kickstarter. I don't know why I said delicious. That didn't sound right.
It was a tasty Kickstarter, man. It was so tasty.
I take that back. I don't want to say it didn't feel good to say.
Yakult did do really good with that Kickstarter, though.
They did. They did so good that they were like, you know what? We're just going to give you tons of free added on content. But yeah.
Might have been a mistake looking at where they are financially to this day, but
Well, but yeah, 2D, love the way it looks, love what they did. You can definitely tell it's like inspired by certain games, including, we got DuckTales with the Pogo, which is great. I love the graphics of the game, like all the hidden secrets that they have, the different sections, like where there's like the certain sections where you can only see it like as there's like a storm brewing and you can only see it with the flashes from the storm to like know where to go next. And yeah, I like it a lot. What do you think of Shovel Knight?
I freaking love Shovel Knight. This was the third game I bought for the Switch. whenever they did the treasure trove version of it. So I bought Snipper Clips, and then I got Breath of the Wild, and then after I finished up Breath of the Wild, I was like, I need something else. So I ended up buying Shovel Knight Treasure Trove Collection because it came with all the expansions and everything, and I hadn't played Shovel Knight really at all until that point, and loved the gameplay of it. Realized what I'd missed out on. So
Big
much
Shovel
so
Knight fan.
that I went and picked up Shovel Knight on the 3DS, and did become a big Shovel Knight fan. Have all the amiibos for it now, including the Golden Shovel Knight. Like, I freaking love this game, and it's very special. It's an homage to classic NES style platformers of yore. One of those games that I think timelessly will hold up because of the fact that they did do it as a love letter to old school gaming. But I think it is one of those things where I don't know, like, it's one of these games that are on this list that I don't know if this game is for everybody, because at times, especially in certain expansions, it can be tough as nails as far as a platformer goes, because it does take its retro inspirations very seriously. But I freaking love Shovel Knight and the way that this game plays, and honestly, like, the way it looks on 3DS is stellar as well. And that's the version that we have up here that we added to the list. If you have not played a Shovel Knight game and you haven't given it a chance in the year 2026 of our Shovel Lord and Savior, the Shovel Knight, do me a favor, go pick up any edition of it. They've got actually a new edition that's going to be coming out. That's going to be including everything in it as well, I believe, including some extra stuff that they're throwing into it at some point in the near future. Yeah. And on top of that, Yacht Club Games, just big shout out to them for all of what they've put into this. It is a very special game. Looking forward to Mina the Hollower from them as well, but big recommendation for Shovel Knight from me too. I freaking love that game.
I love it. Shovel Knight, so good.
We go from one game about digging to another game about digging, and this game at number 44 is a fairly new title to rush out this past year, and that was Donkey Kong Bonanza. Really, really, really amazing game. Loved it to the point that I 100%ed it. I did all the digging I could do. I got all the Bonandium gems. I went and found all of the Bonandium crystals. Made sure that I did everything I could in this game, because this was like the first true, like, big budget, like, focused game for the Switch 2 that came out of Nintendo. Yes, we had Mario Kart World right before it, but I think Donkey Kong Bonanza, it was the single player experience that I was looking for, and I didn't even know that that's what I was looking for. I was waiting for Super Mario Odyssey 2 was what I was thinking I was going to get, and instead we got Donkey Kong Bonanza. And at first I was incredibly disappointed because I loved my plumber in his red and blue overalls, but when we got DK and when I got my hands on him, holy crap, like, the controls were so smooth, the power felt extremely strong. It was everything that I actually wanted out of a Donkey Kong game coming from the Super Mario Odyssey team that I didn't know that I actually wanted. I ended up falling in love with this game to the point that on this show we gave it a 99 out of a 100. Now, that does lead into question why we have it placed at 44th on our list, and that's because every game above this is going to be 100 out of 100. That's the way that I kind of got to look at this now, if I'm being truly fair. But no, like, this is a game at its truest sense. Everything about this feels like a toy to play with and feels like a real game to play and is enjoyable and just artistically, thematically, ambience is through the roof. Like, I freaking love Donkey Kong Bonanza and cannot recommend this game highly enough to anybody who has a Switch 2. If you end up getting a Switch 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza is the single player game to get right now, at least until we see a new entry from a Zelda or a new entry from a Mario, in which case maybe my opinion will change. But right now, Donkey Kong Bonanza, amazing game, really solid experience. One of those ones that I'd have to recommend. Now, Chris, I know you haven't had the chance to have a hands-on with this too much, but you did play the demo. And what have you thought about it? I just played the
demo. Yeah, loved it. This is definitely of all the Nintendo games that have come out so far, this is the one at the top of my list. Once I get a Switch 2. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
You mean to tell me you're not excited to play Pokemon Pokopia?
Well, yeah. Well, there's that. But yeah, of the games that are out. Obviously,
this game. It is so good. It is so good.
Yeah.
Deserves its spot at 44th on our list. We got another game coming up, though, that we like just as much, if not more, and that is at 43rd. Chris, tell the people what it is.
Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Now, 3D World, this one added 3D World plus Bowser's Fury has the online multiplayer. I played through this game on the Switch with my boys. They were at their mom's, and we played it online together while we were all on a call together. And that was a lot of fun. We broke it up into multiple chunks. We didn't obviously play it through in one sitting, but yeah, just they added the cats in this one. Shout out to I don't want to shout out cats.
We like cats on here. We're cat people. Listen, it's okay. We can shout out some cats.
I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. You can't force me. You can do it yourself.
Shout out cats.
That was aggressive.
I'm sorry.
Super Mario 3D World. I like the Bowser's Fury bit too, like just like the concept of it, and like the idea of running around and trying to fight that giant Bowser that was just watching from a distance. I was like Vecna.
Just looking at it. R.I.P. Stranger Things. There is no conformity gate. Get out of here.
New episode tomorrow?
No conformity gate.
New episode tomorrow. What did you think of 3D World?
I adore 3D World in a way that I don't know that I can put into appropriate words. Not that they would be inappropriate. I freaking love them. But no, like 3D World in and of itself is like this cool like mishmash of a 2D Mario meets 3D experience in some ways. Like it's so hard to describe to people, but like I usually tell people like this is an isometric Mario is the best way that I can possibly describe the base game of 3D World. And you're right about the cat power up. The cat power up's really good. Shout out cats. But on top of all of that, you end up getting this other experience in Bowser's Fury as well that feels more like a tech demo at times, but is a genuinely good addition to the main game. And it takes like 3D World's mechanics and engine and throws it into its own space and makes it something that is truly different and holds up on its own, even though it's a little bit on the shorter side. I love the base 3D World game a whole heck of a lot and try to tell people about that game all the time. And like the cat power up is good. The cherry power up is really, really good. The return of the Tanuki leaf is really good. I love 3D Land for the 3DS, and this is like a expansion of 3D Land that gave it like that full on console experience. And then when they brought this to Switch and threw in Bowser's Fury, they did some like performance tweaks for the main game, and they ended up doing something that I'm glad that they did, which was increasing the speed of all the characters. So the Switch version is like the definitive version of 3D World that I think people should try out. But I love this game. It's charming. It's adorable. The multiplayer of it is really good. And it's special. It's special and should be played.
It definitely should be played. It's a good one to play. I enjoy it immensely. I enjoyed my time with it, and I'm probably not done with it. I'll probably play it again. It's one of those games that I'll go back to from time to time. For sure. Absolutely. How about that next game, 42? What are we thinking?
Number 42, we've got a game that I also fell in love with, known as Fire Emblem Three Houses for the Nintendo Switch. Fire Emblem Three Houses took the base Fire Emblem experience and did something very different with it as well. And that was adding this whole like this base exploration experience that we didn't get out of any prior Fire Emblem game to date. I love the story in this game. I love the time travel mechanic that they did where there's this time skip. I love the fact that you get 4 complete stories that change based on, what house you align with. I'm not going to spoil any of those because it is one of those things that you should experience for yourself. I love the turn-based tactical RPG nature of this. I mean, we've talked a lot about turn-based games with Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and Advance Wars in previous episodes of our top 101 games. But this one is like one of my all-time favorite Fire Emblems. It is my favorite Fire Emblem game out of any franchise, followed closely by Birthright, but love this game. Love the storyline. Love playing as Byleth. Loved managing and teaching my students. Loved being able to go down this route of choosing what house to stand with and finding what the canon storyline is, Golden Deer for life. But I freaking love this game and would recommend this Fire Emblem probably faster than I would recommend any other Fire Emblem experience for anyone, just for the simple fact that this is a good introduction that helps you learn the mechanics of turn-based tactical games in a way that I think most people will appreciate indefinitely. But that's my take on Fire Emblem Three Houses. Love this game. It deserves its spot right here on this list at number 42. But Chris, how do you feel about Fire Emblem? Three Houses?
Well, we all know how I feel about just reading in general. I'm not a big reader. It took me a lot just to read this list. But I will say Fire Emblem Three Houses, played through it 3 times. This was before the DLC. Then I started the DLC, and
you got one more playthrough to do, actually.
The what?
I said you got one more playthrough to do.
What do you mean?
You can't just play through it 3 times. You got 4 times in the base game and a 5th time in the DLC.
Well, what can I say?
Except you're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome? Yeah, no, but yeah, I played through it in the, I played through it so much, and then not only that, but then you like go through and like do all the side quests and everything. I did all that with like was it called a tea party?
Yeah, you got to do those tea parties with all the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you build those relationships and romances.
Right. We would go to the tea parties, get some tea, then we would go down to like the mess hall and eat. I don't know if that's where it was, but we would go eat together. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I like did all the side stuff, played through it a lot. I definitely enjoyed Fire Emblem Three Houses a lot. Love it. Mm-hmm. Love it. So good.
Love that game. It is so good. It makes every time I see gameplay from it, it makes me go, I want to replay that game. And I have started playing it again on Switch 2 somewhat recently. I'm just kind of cruising through like a bunch of older games, just kind of reliving those until like the big hitters from Nintendo start to come out. So I love it.
Through it, baby. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. You know what I love?
What do you love?
41. Super
41.
Mario RPG.
Super Mario RPG. Dude, I'm 100% with you as well. Super Mario RPG at number 41 is our next game on the list. And specifically, we've picked the Switch version of this game. The original version is a classic, but I feel like what they did with the Switch version graphically and the quality of life changes that they did in this game are something that needs to be celebrated. When this was announced, I lost my mind on stream because I did not expect this to ever make a reappearance in any way. You know, we've always heard Geno for Smash for years, and we never thought it was going to happen. Then it becomes an assist trophy, I guess. But we really, he wasn't an assist trophy. It was a costume. My apologies. It was a costume for Mii Fighters.
Right. Even worse.
But yeah, it was very cast to the side. It was paid DLC. But this game was beautiful. The writing holds up, is still funny to this day. The gameplay is so much fun, and the quality of life enhancements that they did in this game, very much worthy of being put on this list. I love this take on Super Mario turn-based games, and I really want to see this make a reappearance at some point in the future. I would love to have a sequel to this game. Will it happen? Probably not. I think ultimately, Square Enix and Nintendo's partnership goes about as skin deep as it possibly can. But that being said, this game is amazing and needs to be played. It is a classic for a reason. But Chris, how do you feel about Super Mario RPG?
Love Super Mario RPG. Played through it all the way. Played through it on the SNES and then played through it again on the Switch. Played through it like it was a game that I was like jonesing for. I wanted it to be like a DLC virtual console game on the 3DS, and it never came to it. So, and then like when they announced that it was a remake was coming, that first trailer hit, I was like, oh, thank goodness. But just being able to play it on modern systems, and yeah, it was really good. Loved it. Super Mario RPG, love it, and more of that like action based RPG, and it was definitely one that I played through multiple times, and I'll probably go back to it again someday. I don't know when, but I'm heading back.
Someday I'm going back to it.
Someday I'm going back to it, like Lost.
Oh man, you know who else needed to go back?
Who else?
Samus. Samus had to go back.
Sweet Jiminy Christmas.
In the remake of a specific game. I'm gonna let you hype this one up though. Number 40.
Number 40. Okay, I'll hype it up because Metroid Zero Mission.
Wait, hold on. I'm supposed to hype this one up. We've gotten off on our list a little bit here, didn't we?
Well, yeah, because I went to introduce Super Mario RPG and
I'm sorry.
You took it over.
I thought you wanted me to introduce it the way you ended it off. Listen, I'm going to talk a little bit about Metroid Zero Mission.
Just tell me about Zero Mission, please.
Zero Mission is by far my personal favorite Metroid out of the entire Metroid franchise. It's a remake of the original Metroid. It takes a lot of the improvements that Super Metroid did and kind of implants them into Metroid Zero Mission with the map, and giving you like an actual structure to that game where you're not having to draw your own map and it not being tough as nails. It takes a lot of these boss fights and makes them huge and different and big and just cinematic. It extends in such a way that I think that this is the definitive way to play the original Metroid in a lot of ways. On top of that, this released for the GBA. And we know our love for the GBA here is strong. We love the pixel art. We love the way that it looks. We love the way that it sounds. I freaking love Metroid Zero Mission and tell people all the time, like, this is my favorite one, and this may be the best one because it's not quite as complex or as involved as Metroid Fusion is. And I feel like all of its arcs kind of work together in a way that Metroid Fusions do not in quite the same way. We'll be talking about Metroid Fusion in a little bit, though, so I may have to eat a few words. But freaking love Metroid Zero Mission. Recommend this game to anybody, and that's why it's at number 40 on our list. But Chris, I'm gonna ask you now to step in and talk a little bit about Metroid Zero Mission.
How about I step in and tell you, Metroid Zero Mission is the mission zero. No, but yeah, it was really good. I played through it. Enjoyed it immensely. That's right, I said the word immensely. I enjoyed it. Let me see, because I was thinking back to like when I think about like going back to Metroid, playing the original Metroid is kind of hard for me to do, just in enjoying it. But if I'm thinking about going back and playing Metroid, I'll be like, let me play like Super Metroid Zero Mission, and then once I play Zero Mission, I'm like, oh yeah, this just feels right, especially as a GBA game. Just yeah, so good. Metroid Zero Mission, loved it.
Super good. Big recommendations from both of us here. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to ask you to actually step in on this next game.
Listen, how about I step in on this next game, which is Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Now, Dawn of Sorrow is the sequel to Aria of Sorrow, which this was, not only Nintendo, but third parties, including Konami here, with Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, tried to have games that had D and S in the name, DS. So that was this here. But one thing that I enjoyed a lot, that I don't really think I would enjoy it as much nowadays, like the gimmick element of it, but when the DS first came out, like I loved like anything that like used like the touch screen. So like you're playing Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, you beat a boss, and in order to seal up the boss and take its power, you need to draw either a star or some sort of design on the screen in order to capture the boss. And if you fail, then the boss gets like some of its health back, and then you got to fight it again. And then in order to beat it. But then this is a lot like, Symphony of the Night with the different enemies, and you're leveling up. But then as you're destroying these enemies, you're getting their souls, and they're getting sucked up into you, and like you can level them up based on how many you have of each one. You can I believe it was like 10 that you could have of each soul and suck them up. It was just so good. Loved it. Dawn of Sorrow. We
love a Dawn of Sorrow around here. We love being sorrowful in the dawn.
That's the best time to be sorrowful.
To be completely honest and completely fair, this placement on the list of this game is entirely up to Chris. The placement of this game on this list, rather, is entirely up to Chris. I haven't done a whole lot of Castlevaniaing because I'm not great at those style of games. But when you describe that gimmick, it reminds me a lot of Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. But before it was Wrath of the White Witch, the Japanese release of Ni no Kuni for the DS, where you had to draw symbols on the touchscreen as well. To be able to cast your spells and stuff. And I don't know if I would love that necessarily either. I'm kind of with you. But I will be 100% with you. I think that this game definitely deserves to be on the list. It's another Castlevania game, and I love the way that these games look. They're just very challenging experiences that I'm not very good at.
So good. Loved it.
Oh man, that does bring us to number 38 on the list. And we just talked about Metroid Zero Mission, and we're going to tell you guys a little bit about Metroid Fusion as well. Metroid Fusion, whenever it launched, was an amazing title, and to this day holds up extremely well as well. You get this very cool horror experience where you are running from an infected clone of yourself, essentially the SAX, and some of the tension that is built up in here is some of the best tension they had thrown into the franchise. Again, this game, it does a lot of the same quality of life improvements that we needed out of the Metroid franchise after Super Metroid had released, where you get the map and you've got these like points of interest that you're going to. Adam's a little handholdy in this one, where he's telling you exactly where to go at all times and telling you what you've got to run up to. But I like the inclusion of him, because he kind of helps guide this game and makes it more approachable, I think, for the generic fan running into Metroid. The amazing story that's set up here is also matched by the amazing graphics, the sounds, the gameplay experience. I heavily recommend Metroid Fusion to just about anybody as well. Right behind Metroid Zero Mission for me personally, but I think that arguably this may be the better game in an actual face-off of the franchise between the two that were released on the GBA. But Chris, tell me what your take is on Metroid Fusion, my good sir.
Metroid Fusion. This is a game that I went ahead and when I did decide, you know what, I was so excited. I played this one like all the way through, and then I was like, you know what, normally I'm not a big fan of being chased by things, like being hunted. Not a big fan of it, but I didn't mind it that much in this game. I don't know about you. How do you feel about being hunted?
Oh, well, we saw how I dealt with Resident Evil Village the entirety of that game. I beat Lady D, and she's like the hottest thing that ever walked this planet, and that was the end of it for me. After she was dead, I didn't want to be chased by anything else. So,
I would say hottest thing on this planet might just be you.
thank you, baby.
But yeah, Metro Fusion, love it. I love the way it looks. I love the color of Samus's suit in this one for most of the game, and yeah, I just liked it a lot. Metroid Fusion.
Metroid Fusion is so good, and
it really is.
The progression in it is really, really good. I like the fights against these like SAX, like infected like creatures. That was fun. A fun way to get your upgrades and stuff. Really enjoyed that. Like overall, just like a good experience. And really, like if you haven't given Metroid as any Metroid a chance, I would recommend play Zero Mission, then play this, because Zero Mission's a little more approachable than this one is. But this one is iterative in a way that I think it does improve the franchise for being here. So, yeah, Metroid Fusion definitely deserves to be on this list at number 38. So, then we go into number 37. This is one of Chris's all-time favorite games of all time. I know I said it twice. So nice I had to say it twice. Chris, tell him about this next game.
Yeah, sure. It would be my honor to tell you about Hollow Knight. Your honor? Objection? No, no.
It's not Phoenix Wright, I promise.
Hollow Knight Silk Song. Now, Hollow Knight, the original Hollow Knight, is a game I tried to get into maybe 40 times and just couldn't get into it as much as I was hoping. But then Hollow Knight Silk Song came out, and I was just hooked, and I loved it. I love the way it looks, the animation, just the combat. I didn't love dying over and over again, but I also didn't mind it that much. So I guess I didn't mind it too bad. And yeah, I played through it. It was great to be able to play through this while my older son is also playing through it. So we were playing through it together, talking about what we thought of the bosses and the way they were destroying us mainly. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to the DLC later this year, or in 5 years when it's a whole new game.
Oh man, Hollow Knight Silk Song. There's a lot to say about this game. I mean, it was long awaited and it was well overhyped, but in the best ways, and people were desperate for this game to release. And I love Hollow Knight Silk Song. I think Hollow Knight Silk Song is a better game than the original Hollow Knight. It adds so much complexity. It kind of reminds me a lot of the same kind of progression that we saw with Metroid Zero Mission into Metroid Fusion, right? Like, it is one of those games that is iterative and improves the franchise, if you can call it a franchise. There's only 2 games, but it improves the franchise in a way that I think was very, very necessary and very needed, giving you a whole lot of character customization and RPG elements. And on top of that was literally the definitive, what we do here is, that's like 3 Silk Songs is how much that costs now. It was like it released at $20. And it's nuts to me that you get this experience at that price point. And I think I don't even think that. We know that it made a lot of people in the indie games industry upset. But I would tell people, as a general consumer, do not pay for hype. Don't charge for hype as a developer. That's not fair to the consumer. Just because it's extra hype doesn't mean that you need to charge $90, $100 for a video game. looking at you, Mario Kart World.
Whoa.
But you know, I was super stoked about this game whenever it released, and I still have a lot to do in this game. Like, it is massive, it is challenging, it is hard, tough as nails, but it is beautiful, and it is emotionally gratifying, and it builds in a way that is very important for a game to keep people engaged and making you feel powerful, and like you learn the game and you feel like you're capable, and then you go up against a new boss and you realize that your capability is out the window. But I love Silksong. I love what they did. I think that this game is very deserving of being on this list at number 37, and would tell people every day, if you want to experience a Metroidvania, and you want to have the best experience of a Metroidvania in its truest form, Hollow Knight Silksong might be the game to do it in. Legitimately. It might be the game to do it in. Freaking love this game. We go from Hollow Knight Silksong, though, to the next game on our list. And this game holds a super special place in my heart. And that is Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. And I've told the story a million times. I'm not going to regale everybody with it here, but this was like the first game that I sat and beat with my mom. And I cherish that memory in a way that I cannot explain right now because it would take me too long to get through that story. But this game may be one of the most beautiful Super Nintendo games to ever release, and holds up exceedingly well because of the art style that they chose. They did this like Crayola like kind of aesthetic in pixel art, which blew my mind, the way that it looked and the way that the aesthetic just, it is so good. I cannot stress that enough. It is so good. But Yoshi's Island is one of those games where you go into it, and they did the same thing they did with like Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land, where they added Super Mario blah 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 to the beginning, and then let you play as a totally different character altogether. And you go into this expecting this to be a true sequel, and really it's not a sequel in any way. It is a prequel among prequels, where it takes the Mario brothers and makes them babies, and puts them onto Yoshi's back, and you play as Yoshi, trying to get him to his brother to save them and get them back home to where they were meaning to be, because they get accidentally kidnapped. Well, one of them gets on purpose kidnapped, the other one gets accidentally kidnapped by Yoshi. and relayed back to Bowser's castle. Yeah. But the gameplay in this is so good. It's the first time you really get the chance to see Yoshi shine. And he was a tool, not a jewel, in the first iteration of Mario World, where you get him and you Goomba stomp him into cliffs and off into gaps below to save your own skin. But in this game, he is the main jewel, and he is who you play as. His egg throwing abilities are good. His ability to eat enemies and turn them into eggs was so much fun. His flutter jump was great. The personality that they added into these was so good. I love Yoshi's Island, and it's just charming. It's charming, and it deserves its place at number 36 on our top 101 games list. But Chris, what do you feel about Yoshi's Island?
Well, I guess you could say what I think of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island can best be summed up in the form of limerick. Yoshi's a... No, I can't do a limerick.
Oh, come on, do it the limerick.
I don't have a limerick. I don't think I have a limerick in me.
Once was an island of Yoshis. Yeah. In Super Mario RPG, you meet a Boshi.
Right, yeah. Once there was a Yoshi's Island.
You got to rhyme island with something. What are you going to do now?
Well, what can I say except island? Nope, that didn't work.
Baby, you know Mario, you take. Sometimes it gets a cape.
But yeah, Yoshi's Island is really good. I like Super Mario World 2. Like you said, this I think is probably my favorite. I mean, I don't think Yoshi has been more fun to play and control than in this game here. I don't know about you, but like some of the other games, like they just seem like they're geared towards like younger kids. The other Yoshi games, and this one here is just. It seems like it was made for fans of Super Mario World, but you're playing as Yoshi instead of Mario. And yeah, I just really like running around as Yoshi. I like shooting my eggs. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and I love the way the game looks, especially the end of the final boss. So good.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Like, I am surprised at the level of kidification that they did do to the Yoshi's franchise. Like, I think Yoshi's Story might be the last time that there was like the actual somewhat difficult Yoshi game, right? Like Yoshi's Island DS, Yoshi's New Island. I really didn't enjoy those near as much as I like these, and part of it was the aesthetic too. Like they did a full on graphical change on the sequels compared to this one, but. I think overall, like the experience of Yoshi's Island is a special experience that in the right person's hands will be a very good experience. In the wrong person's hands could be bad because you end up dealing with a baby Mario who's crying 90% of the game. But beyond that, looking past that, like I think Yoshi's Island is likely one of the better experiences to ever have on the Super Nintendo, and just super charming. Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh man, you want to introduce number 35, my good sir?
It would be my honor.
Your honor.
Objection.
Phoenix right. It's him again.
Not again. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Just so good. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is like one of those games where it's like, I don't know how you can top Donkey Kong Country Returns, and then they were like, you know what, I think we know a way. What if we do this? And then they released Tropical Freeze. It's hard. It looks really good. The level design, and just like when you're in a flow state in that game, it's like does it better than most games, and it's just so good. I love Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. What do you think,
dude,
of the game?
Speedruns for that game are just amazing to watch. Like I freaking love watching speedruns of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. But we've had a Donkey Kong Country on this list earlier on, and we had Donkey Kong Bonanza on this list earlier on as well. And the one thing that I will say is you're absolutely right. Like the flow state that you enter when you are playing this game, if you chain together the proper like Kong combos, is so amazing, so good. Like I like the inclusion of getting Diddy and Dixie, but not only those two, but you also get Cranky with his pogo jump. Like it holds up extremely well as one of the tightest platforming experiences that I think any Nintendo game has ever released as. Freaking love Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and the environments that they design in this are so lush and beautiful, and they tell a story just as much as like the main characters on the foreground of the screen do. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze deserves a ton of praise and deserves to be recognized for what it is. And if you have not had the chance to play it, maybe you've only ever played the old ones, this is one that I would start with. I think it is a game that has significantly high highs, as much as it does have some significantly low lows, but I think those highs offset the lows of this game pretty amazingly. And if you're a fan of the Donkey Kong franchise, this is like a must play. This is a must play in just about every way.
Yeah, it is so good. And so much so that I'm almost worried now that with the Donkey Kong Bonanza, and they just released, and then Rare just released, or Retro just released Prime 4, that we might not get a new Donkey Kong Country like this again.
Yeah, there is a good chance.
For a while.
There is a good chance that we will not see another 2D Donkey Kong for a good bit. But who knows? Maybe they'll be like, maybe it'll be like the Mario team, where every 3 years you get a new Mario, and one's 2D and then another one's 3D.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It could happen. It could happen. Let's keep our hopes up. But that does bring us into number 34 on the list, and it's a game that is absolutely beautiful, as much as it is beautiful, and that is Beautiful Joe for the GameCube. Beautiful Joe was a Capcom joint that came out many, many years ago on the GameCube, and was something that was completely different. I did not expect to get this amazing, very cinematic experience out of this chibi-esque looking character. But it's different, and it's cool, and it's a good beat 'em up game with a lot of cool goals and a lot of really neat enemies that are presented on the screen. The boss fights are stellar. The soundtrack in this game is an absolute banger. It does make me wonder if we'll ever see this one on the old GameCube NSO. There's a lot of people that are out there clamoring for it. Mel, frequent viewer of the show, looking forward to Beautiful Joe possibly coming to GameCube on NSO. Yeah. But won't you take it away, Chris, on Beautiful Joe? I've kind of sang its praises enough on my end. How do you feel about Beautiful Joe?
I'll tell you what I think of Beautiful Joe. Best summed up in the form of a limerick. No, but
ready.
Beautiful
Do
Joe.
Do the limerick now. Do it. There once was a game named Beautiful Joe.
I'm not talking about his friend Mo. The Beautiful Joe, though, it's in 2D, but the way they do the combat feels so good, and it's you can tell that this team went on to work on and do a lot of great 3D action games, and
looking at you, Wonderful 101.
Well, hold on. But yeah, just playing this game, I was it's so good that I like the cell shaded nature of it. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, just the combat felt good, fighting the enemies felt good, the superpowers and abilities that you had in the game felt good, and the combos that you would be hitting, and switching and getting your ultimate and not hitting that off, and it was just so good. And it's definitely a game I'm they're releasing all these other games. I hope 2026 sees them release Beautiful Joe 1 and 2, even if they don't release the the DS game with them on the modern systems. I would even just take Beautiful Joe 1 and 2. That would be great too.
My observation on that, though, is 2 is basically Beautiful Joe 1. I mean, they even down to the bosses. So, I don't know why we need to, but I'm down for it. I'm not against it. Let me say that. I'm not against it, but it's the same game. It's the same game.
But yeah, Beautiful Joe. It's definitely a game that if you haven't played it before, if you haven't checked out Beautiful Joe, I would suggest going ahead, checking it out. Just look at the art of the game. Yes. And watching the gameplay. Yeah, it definitely one of my favorite GameCube games ever.
Right up there with Chibi Robo.
Love Chibi Robo. Don't get me started.
Speaking of GameCube era, you got another GameCube game coming up at number 33. Won't you take it away, my good sir?
I sure do. Well, because we're over here in Mario Kart Double Dash. Double exclamation points. You know what I'm saying? Because Double Dash was what if we bring Mario Kart, but when Double Dash came out and I was playing with it, I was like, I would love for them to build more on the whole idea of the double cart, like 2 people on 1 cart. And I was like, that would be awesome if they could build on it and what they could do with it. But then going back and playing like Double Dash and like switching the seats, and like you would have like each of them would be able to hold an item. Mario Kart Double Dash. I just loved it. What did you think of Mario Kart Double Dash?
I freaking love Mario Kart Double Dash. It ranks up there as like my top 3 Mario Karts of all time. I know we only have like 9 of them, but you know, like it's really good. It's so freaking good. Mario Kart Double Dash. When they did the gimmick of having 2 players, 1 cart, it was one of those things that I think at the time was not looked at super fondly. But you fast forward, 10 years, you give it enough time, people will kind of crave that and want that to make its way back in. And it was so unique being able to mix and match the weight classes, the cart classes, the items that you could get. Honestly, the freaking Toads with Koopa Troopa is like the goated combo, because you get triple mushrooms and you get triple shells using those characters, and I liked that there were unique powers, unique items that each of these characters could get. But I will tell you, I played this game mostly with my dad growing up, and he would be the backseat player, I would be the driver. That is typically the way that we ended up playing it, because my dad didn't enjoy the driving so much in this game. But he really enjoyed being able to snipe people and being able to hit people. And we had a lot of like combo tech that we were doing really well with each other, and trying to tell each other, okay, are you ready to swap? Are you ready to drive that way and get my item for us? I love this game, and it is like, a lot of these courses have kind of stayed for many years. Like, as you've seen, like the remakes of these older courses make their ways into the more modern games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart World rather. But it is an interesting experience compared to most of the Mario Karts. And this was like the first follow-up after Mario Kart 64. And you look at Mario Kart 64 and honestly, how crappy that game looks graphically compared to this, and you're just blown away. It is stellar. I love this game. This might be one of my all-time favorite games on GameCube for sure, and is definitely a top 3 contender for Mario Karts in every way for me, personally. But Mario Kart Double Dash with the double exclamation points, don't forget them. Don't forget the hyphen in Spider-Man.
That's right. You don't forget either of those.
It's so good. It's so good. That comes in at number 33 on our top 101 list. We're gonna go now to number 32. Legend of Zelda: Minish Cap. The best Zelda of all time. No, I'm kidding. It's not the best Zelda of all time, but it is a great Zelda, and needs to be looked at more often. This was another Capcom game. And a lot of people, they look at Zelda games and they go, oh, Nintendo. No, Capcom was in charge of a lot of Zelda-ing back in the day, and so much so that like they made the definitive de facto look for Link that stayed for many, many years as it went on. But Minish Cap is so special. It's a GBA game, and it released at a time that I think was very important developmentally for me as far as a gamer, because this was like the first Zelda that I ever sat down to actually beat on my own, like no help, no guides, no nothing. I freaking love Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. The ability to transform into a smaller version and go into these new, bigger worlds, the puzzle solving that was going on in that, Enzo, the hat that comes along with you, the bird guy that talks at you and yaps at you the whole time, was a much better sidekick than Navi in a lot of ways. I feel like aesthetically, the pixel art that they did in this game made this game timeless and look beautiful. I love the adventure. Yeah, dude, like that GBA Legend of Zelda color palette is so good. It's so freaking good.
So good.
I cannot sing this game's praises enough, but I probably should stop right here. I'm going to throw it over to Chris. How do you feel about Minish Cap, my good sir?
I really enjoy Minish Cap. One thing I like is when you're running around in the world and you like see a small little thing and you're like, oh, if I find a place to shrink, I could get in there. Or like running around as little Link when you shrunk and being like, you see something big and be like, oh, if I can do this while I'm down here, it would open up that area for me in a big way, or make it so that I can get back here later. And like, just like the idea of like solving those like puzzles with the size and just also a real like Honey I Shrunk the Kid vibes with the Legend of Zelda. Imagine if the first Legend of Zelda movie they were making live action was Minish Cap. That would be wild. It's not, but it would be wild. But yeah, Minish
I'd be
Cap,
down for it.
yeah, I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. This is probably my favorite isometric top-down Zelda of all time. I have a lot of very fond memories with this game too, and it is one that I typically recommend to newcomers to the franchise. If they're wanting a 2D Zelda, like this is the one that I would recommend. It plays super well. It doesn't feel clunky, and the puzzles feel like they're pointing you in the right direction a lot of times. Whereas there sometimes you encounter a puzzle in some of the other 2D Zeldas, and they don't feel like they're pointing you in any kind of direction. And this had a little bit better guidance. But I love this Zelda. I love this Zelda, and want this to get the love it deserves too. And that's why we have it at number. What number did we have it at? 32 on our top 101 games list. Oh man, that does bring us to another game. Chris, why don't you go ahead and take this one away?
31. We got Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 is a game that I was like excited for like before it came out, and then once it came out and I was playing through it and I was like, oh, I think this might be my favorite Pikmin game. And then the more I play it, I'm like, I don't want this game to end at all. I'm enjoying playing through Pikmin. Pikmin, it has this thing that I'm not big on, where you create your character that you're playing as. Mm-hmm. I don't like creating. You just wanted to be
Olimar. That's all you wanted.
I don't even mind doing just Olimar. Like, just give me a character. I don't want to have to pick. I don't like. One thing I do is if they show your character, like the created character, on the cover art or in key art or anything like that, I will go ahead and make my character just look however that character looks, because I'm like, you know what, that's what if it's good enough for them to put on the cover of this game, it's good enough for me to make.
You're looking for the canonical, this is the character.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know, I do a lot the same, like Atlas RPGs. I try to find out what the name of the main character in Persona was.
Name? Yeah.
Because I don't feel right being Cody in Persona.
Right. Yeah, Chris running around. No,
I'm not Chris in Japan.
Yeah. And so then I'll be like, what is their name? And they'll be like, in the game, they do not have a name, but in the anime, this was their name. And I was like, that's my name. Yeah. So, but yeah, Pikmin 4, loved it. I loved what they added with this game with Ochi. Was that his name? Ochi, the dog. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And also a gorgeous game too. It looks really good. Love the way it looks, and the water, like swimming around on the water. I always thought Pikmin looked pretty good, like the way they had it. And this is another one of those like Honey I Shrunk the Kids instances where you're really small, like being running small. Around.
You like being small because you love Chibi Robo.
Short.
You love this. You love Minish Cap.
Yeah. Is there a name for that? Like small and
isekai. You're transported into a different world. Oh yeah, you want to be isekai'd.
Yeah. If someone wants to isekai me, they could.
No, I love Pikmin 4 as well. I've told people this multiple times, but like when Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 released for the GameCube, I got Pikmin 1 and I was like, holy crap, games could never look better than this. Everything looked so real. I was like, the detail on this soda can, the way these pop caps look, the way that this looks. I was so blown away. And
this door cell battery.
Yeah. And like, honestly, Pikmin has been one of those franchises that I feel like for the most part, like, has always looked good in every iteration. And genuinely, like, Pikmin 4 may be the most best refined experience. There's even like new DLC that's coming for it this many years on, where you can have like a non-aggro experience where you can just kind of explore the world, and enemies won't aggro on you first. Like, this game has been one of those that I think has been loved appropriately, and they actually threw some development behind it. And we all know, like, Shigeru Miyamoto loves his Pikmin a lot, maybe his favorite franchise he's ever created. I think he would have said that about Star Fox years ago, but Pikmin's kind of been like the holdover for a lot of years lately. But I like Pikmin. And I like Pikmin 4 a lot, and there's a reason it's up here at 31 out of all the Pikmin we could have picked, and there's many of them, including Hey Pikmin. But, you know, we put Pikmin 4 on here because it is the most refined, best experience of Pikmin that you can possibly hope for.
Yeah, it's just so good. Pikmin 4, love it. Number 31.
Yes, sir. We get number 30, and it is my favorite Metroid game ever. And it's Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread is so good. And we've talked about Metroid Zero Mission. We've talked about Metroid Fusion, even in this episode. We've talked about all the different games that have been introduced in this franchise. Metroid Dread is a masterclass in storytelling, environmental storytelling, making you feel like a badass the entire time. Metroid Dread, like, the whole point of the game is that you dread going and dealing with the enemies, but you can even counter them and become the bad, super awesome interstellar mercenary that Samus is. You see a lot of returns of these callbacks to people like Adam. You get introduction of storyline that I think is very important for the Metroid canon, and showing off who Samus is. We get this super awesome moment where she finally speaks in this game. We're not talking about Metroid Other M. Forget that game. That one's not canon and it's not important. You shouldn't play that one. But she speaks in this game for the first time, and it is so cool because she speaks in her native tongue. Like, and it is a moment that is so important. Graphically, this game is beautiful. Gameplay-wise, this game is amazing. And storytelling that they do in this game will be talked about for ages. I fully believe this is the new Super Metroid. This is the classic Metroid, and I think it just needs a few more years of people playing through this one to realize just how much greater this game is than any other game in the franchise. I love Metroid Dread. Chris, how do you feel about Metroid Dread?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I was talking about it before, about not being sure, like not really loving games that have enemies chasing you, and that's pretty much what a lot of this game is.
Yeah, this whole game. That's the whole game.
Yeah, but this one does something that the reason why I don't really like it is because you can't really defend yourself in the other ones, but this one kind of like, almost like it, like, not only can you defend yourself against them, but it also kind of like, whether you want to or not, it forces you to get good at the parrying system in order to survive through a lot of these sections with the Metroid Dread. And I mean, with the, what are they called? The
Emmys.
Emmys, yeah. And just like dodging them, and then like the cool like animation and cutscene that they throw you into. So good. Metroid Dread. And not only that, but it looks really good. And then like some of the revelations that come out of the game, like after, beating it, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I forget. Is this, even with Dread 4 or Prime 4, is Dread the furthest one along in the timeline?
Yes, because Metroid Prime, as far as that goes, the Prime series is its own timeline. as far as they're concerned, because they didn't communicate a whole lot between developers, because the main producer for the main director for this is a different director for the Prime series. But if you were to try to look at them as like a complete unit, yeah, this one's like the furthest along in the timeline. But Metroid Prime 4 is, according to the developers, a soft reboot of the franchise too. So like it is something that is a little bit different than the rest of the franchise. But Dread, to answer your question, yeah, this is the furthest along in the Metroid timeline.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I just really enjoy it. And played through it. Listen, it came. Remember, like they added like the hard mode, and I tried it, and I was like, I tried it after it released, but it was like a little while after the game came out, so I had already beat it and left it. I'm like, if I was like still in tune with where I was at the end of
with your interstellar mercenary,
yeah, with my inner Samus, I could have taken it out, but just jumping in cold turkey after having not played for a while, it was kind of rough. So I did not beat it on hard.
It is hard. I beat it on hard on stream somewhat recently with people, and it had been lots of years since I'd played it too, and I was like, holy crap, this is hard. I think I had so many restarts, but on the Ravenbeak fight, like the final fight, like I was so much better at that fight this go around than I was even on like the normal mode whenever it originally released. So I don't know, like it eventually makes you get good in a good way. But that being said, Metroid Dread number 30, so good. Go play it. Please go play that game. I love that game. We go to number 29 now. Chris, take it away, my good sir.
Super Mario Galaxy. Now, I'm not sure if you've played Super Mario Galaxy or not, but let me tell you something about it. Like when this game came out, I was like, okay, so this is like, we had Mario Sunshine, and I was like, I really want something. They were like, we have Mario Galaxy. It's going to make use of the Wii remotes with like the waggle, and also it's got all like the gravity and anti-gravity and everything with that. And it's just Mario Galaxy. It's one of my favorite Mario games, 3D Mario games ever, I think. But it's just so good, and like the music is really good, and I think it looks really good. Like the graphics are really nice, and I like the bosses, like how like it'll like kind of like zoom out and you're running around the planet like fighting some of these bosses, and it's just so good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the version of this. The version of this game that we have on the list is actually the new Super Mario Galaxy 1+2 remake that they did somewhat recently for the Switch and Switch 2. But I'm 100% with you. Like, any version of this game is amazing. And I think this game ultimately is one of the most cinematic in the franchise, setting up an amazing story. I play this game every year in March, playing through the entire franchise of Mario games. But this is one that typically for that playthrough I dread, because it is a little bit long. It's a little bit long in the tooth for me to be able to play through in a short period of time, trying to beat all of the games during the month of March. But I love this game. I love what they did with the gameplay, being able to run around on the planets. In a lot of ways, it was a tech demo for motion in 3D platformers, I felt like, and it was a tech demo for gravity mechanics that they incorporated into this. But I think ultimately this game has held up over time in a way that most of the 3D platforming Mario games have not. The story is super moving. I love the storybook to the point. I mean, I've got Rosalina's storybook just chilling right here beside me still yet. I love the book in this game because it kind of tells the story of Rosalina and how she becomes the mother to the Lumas and why it's important that she stays and helps them in their journey becoming stars in the sky. I like what they did with the introduction of the spin jump mechanic and how it played out. And I think a lot of the motion and platforming that they developed here for Super Mario Galaxy really helped define like how Mario was going to control when Super Mario Odyssey came out, because it is a very similar control system, very snappy, very solid. But I freaking love Super Mario Galaxy. I think a lot of people should play through Super Mario Galaxy. It's available now. You can get it on its own for $40 or in the 2-pack for I think it was, what was it? What, 70 for the 2-pack. So save yourself.
Right. Yes.
Save yourself $10. But you know, that being said, Super Mario Galaxy is an all-time classic, and it's what caused me to fail one of my finals in college, because instead of studying, I spent time playing Super Mario Galaxy. It's so good. It's so good. And it was also the first Mario that had like an actual orchestrated soundtrack, by the way. Don't know, fun fact. Fun fact for the people out there. The first orchestrated soundtrack in Mario.
Yeah, well, it definitely shows, and it was just so good. Mm-hmm. So good.
You got 2 minutes to talk about the next game, and we got 2 minutes to talk about the next game, and then we're gonna have ads.
Sounds good.
We're gonna run through this. The next game on our list is number 28, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. And for those who don't know, this was a 3DS joint that came out and was kind of a spiritual successor remake of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It did a whole lot of things differently in all of its mechanics, and the big gimmick for this game was that you could go into the walls and you're in a whole new world, being able to travel around the place, and it kind of reminded me of Fez in some ways for that. But I love Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds and think it should be celebrated a lot, and to this day it really is. Like, this is one of the ones that I think a lot of people talk about being the best 2D Zelda of all time, right up there with A Link to the Past. But Chris, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about A Link Between Worlds before we have to throw it to an ad.
Yeah, so Link Between Worlds, like going against the wall and like doing that, the puzzles like that, kind of reminds me of like Minish Cap, with the way that you would manipulate things. You could see the same thing where you would be like, once you know that you can go against the walls and what you can do when you're there, like you see a certain place in a dungeon and then be like, oh, I can do that if I go over there. And then on top of that, you can kind of go in the dungeons any order you want, sort of, and then go, if you don't have the item you need, you can go buy it from somebody to rent it, basically, so that you can run through the dungeon and use that item there. And it kind of like gave you they were kind of putting down the groundwork for just going around and doing them in any order you wanted with A Link Between Worlds. And yeah, I love it. Link Between Worlds, so good.
Need to give it a chance. But before we get to the last three on our list, we are going to have to throw it, or the last three for tonight, rather. We're going to have to throw it to a real quick ad break. When we get back, we're going to be talking about numbers 27 through 25. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes.
The bombshell.
Welcome back, everybody, from the break. We are going to be diving into the last three on our list for tonight, going in number 27, 26, and 25 of our top 101 games of all time. If you've been here for most of the show, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and listening to us chit-chat about video games. I'm going to throw it to myself. No, yeah. Is it my turn to talk about a video game? I think it is. No, it's not. It's your turn to talk about a video game, Chris. We're going to talk about number 27. Chris, take it away, my good sir.
Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Let me tell you something. They came with the Pokewalkers. We had those. We were using them. At least I was. I was walking around with those things in my pocket. And yeah, it was just so good. Pokemon Heart Gold, probably my favorite. Like the idea that they brought it out and then also gave us these pedometers to like walk our Pokemon with it was just so good. Yeah, I just I can't get over how, like, not only how good the game is, but then like I love the way it looks too for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And then the Pokemon as well in this generation were also really great. And I just, yeah, it was so good. What about you? Did you enjoy Heart Gold, Soul Silver?
I did enjoy some Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like, I've talked a little bit about, Pokemon Silver having that special place because I got it for Christmas and my parents hooked me up and, hooked up my cousin too. And, he got gold version, I got silver version, Lugia for life. But that being said, like, when they did this remake, it was something special. And they took a lot of what they had iterated on and jammed it into this and made this game the definitive way to play Gold and Silver, I feel like. And in a lot of ways, almost the definitive way to play any Pokemon game. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the pedometers were crazy addition, and they're so expensive now if you want to be able to get one now.
Oh, yeah.
This title in general is expensive because it's not easy to obtain, and you have to have like an actual cartridge unless you got like an R4 cart. We're not going to talk about emulation on this channel, but that being said, like this game, The Return of Professor Oak, the aesthetic, the style that they chose, honestly, I think this is the best that like 3D-ish Pokemon has ever looked, because it did that blend of, character sprites from like GBA stylization along with the 3D that the DS was capable of. Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver, really, really solid title in the franchise. Probably one of the best titles in the franchise, if we're being completely honest. Might be the best.
I mean, depends who you ask, but I mean, if you're asking us, I'd say yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. That brings us down to number 26, another 3DS title. We've had a lot of 3DS on this episode, but a lot of 3DS here. But this is Animal Crossing New Leaf. This was the 3DS title that followed. I keep wanting to say Wild World. But I don't think it was Wild World. I think City Folk came out in between that.
I think so.
Maybe my timeline's off. But this was the title that kind of got rid of the scrolling globe feel that we had in Wild World, and really kind of solidified that power fantasy that you could get in an Animal Crossing game. You come in, you become the mayor of this new town. They think that you're supposed to be the new mayor. They appoint you as the new mayor, and then you make mayoral decisions. It had some really cool connection abilities between the titles. So if you wanted to go play Animal Crossing New Leaf with a friend and go visit their city, you could do so. I really liked Main Street in this game with the placement of the buildings and how they were all just kind of lined up there. And like even in like New Horizons, I've attempted to do stuff like that myself because I just like conveniently being able to go to everything. But I loved this game. I loved that I could take this one on the go. I love the way that it gave me that mayor power fantasy, a lot different than like New Horizons has. New Horizons did give you a lot of flexibility in your choices, but this one gave you even more flexibility in your choices. The 3D on this game was really good as well. Genuinely loved having this game in 3D. It was one of the few games that I played pretty consistently in 3D. Animal Crossing New Leaf, maybe best Animal Crossing. Am I off on that? You give your opinion, Christopher.
Yeah, so I'll give you my opinion.
That's okay. Take your time.
No, I was taking my time because so I'm a little bit behind on the stream, and I was like, wait a minute, what are they going to name? Hopefully they don't name themselves something inappropriate.
Yeah, I didn't know. Shout out to our partners who have allowed us to be able to use their footage on our stream, Pacific Gaming, Beard Bear, Long Play Archives. Very big shout out to all of them. If you're not following them and you want to see some long plays of games, go follow their YouTube channels, please. So.
But yeah, I think New Leaf might be my favorite as well, in terms of Animal Crossing games. But yeah, like you said, this was the first game where you weren't moving the globe around to move your villager around, and just going around, running around. Like, I had so much fun, like going around and exploring everything. And this was like, I could have gone online and like looked everything up, but this one here, I like went through and like got most of the stuff on my own, as opposed to the new one, New Horizon, which I went through and was like looking up a lot of stuff online and looking that up to be like, let me make sure I get everything. Where in New Leaf, I was like, I'm just gonna keep going and see what I can and cannot get. And that was probably one of like the last games that I did that with, where I'm like was really into it and I didn't go out of my way to look online to see everything that I was getting. But yeah, New Leaf, I loved it. Having my village, going around talking to all my villagers every day. Just it was just so good. I loved it. New Leaf. That's why it's number 26.
That is why it's number 26, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Definitely a must play. If you haven't played this one, like, this is a good one to jump into too. And, you know, I know the prices of 3DSs and 3DS video games are skyrocketing right now, but it's still worthy to go back to. And I love Animal Crossing just in general. And there's a reason that these games have been on the list. I mean, we've had several Animal Crossings represented on this list anyway, but cozy chill times and just go make friends, go make digital friends and check in on them. And if you have it and you haven't checked in on them in a while, don't let them guilt you into jumping back in that way. Like, just jump in because you want to.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
Oh man.
But yeah, New Leaf 26, but number 25. WarioWare Twisted. Ugh. Please. I love WarioWare Twisted. The idea of playing WarioWare while also just spinning your GBA around, it was so good. It had the motion sensor in it and like the micro game. I don't know, but if you knew this about me, big micro game fan.
What? You?
Big. Yeah. Love it. Yeah, it was so good. This was like, we talked about like, it felt like a bit of a gimmick, like drawing the stuff. This also is like a gimmick with like the motion controls, but then also just the way that they did it. Like, so there was just so much creativity with all the ways that they used it, and you could definitely tell that this was something that they were like, if we're going to call it Twisted and have the main focus be this motion sensor that's in the game, we need to make sure that we like do everything in our power to make sure that we have enough like of these micro games that work with this motion sensor and Twisted, and I feel like they did. They nailed it. And yeah, WarioWare Twisted, so good. Loved it. What about you?
I also really love WarioWare Twisted. When we were making this list, we wanted to have a WarioWare represented on here, and we talked a lot about all the different ones. I mean, you've got WarioWare Mega Micro Games Incorporated. That was the first one that came out. You had WarioWare Touched on the DS. You had, WarioWare Move It on the Switch. But I think we finally definitely all agreed, like, hey, WarioWare Twisted is really where it's at. This game is so hard to capture on streams and on video too. Like, I've seen people do gameplay runs of this, and they usually play them on a GameCube with the Game Boy Advance player, and are like sitting there tilting and twisting the GameCube. But the gimmick in this is genuinely very, very good. And the storyline that they set up, the way the games kind of all link together, the aesthetic of the games, just all of them, fantastic experiences. And if you like games like Rhythm Heaven or, Elite Beat Agents or Osu Tatake Oyundan, I think you're going to really enjoy WarioWare. This is essentially the Americanized version of a lot of those games. And it's something that you should experience. And it really doesn't matter which one you end up picking, because they have enough references to each other that a lot of the games just kind of, they recycle these games, but with whatever gimmick twist that's in here. Not to say, pun intended, but the twisted action on this honestly improves the gameplay experience, in my opinion, in a very large way, and makes it much more of a kinetic experience that you're involved in. I love WarioWare Twisted. I love WarioWare in general. Okay, we finally get to a mini game on the screen, and it is exactly how I thought it was going to be. Very difficult to be able to watch. So, everybody prepare to get your motion sickness in. But WarioWare Twisted, really good game. That comes in at number 25 on our top 101 games. We have one more part left. Next week, we're going to be going through the final 24 games, 24 through number 1 on our list. You're not going to want to miss it. Be here. make sure that you're here. Lock in. We're going to talk about our top games of all time, the actual final top games of all time in part 4 of our top 101 games list. And I hope everybody's enjoyed it and mostly agreed with our takes here. But we're going to be flying in for some, I guess Chris is going to be going in the fast forward, talking about some of these games that are coming up that you need to be caring about. So without any further ado, Chris, take it away. Take it away.
By golly. First we got a Switch game. Okay, we got Big Hops coming out January 12th for 1999. Big Hops is definitely a game that was inspired by just platforming and jumping around, and it's more and more games nowadays have that, like, when you're climbing something, like the stamina bar starts going down, and we love eating a good sandwich as well, but just using your tongue to help you platform around, I love it. And then, like, also they show many ways where you can, like, kind of you can use, like, you'll see I got to get up here, and there's like 7 different ways that you can get up there, and it ended up working out really well. But yeah, this is only on the Switch, 1999, coming out on the 12th of January. Very excited for that. Then we got Nintendo Switch 2. We've got 2 games that are already out, but you know what? This is it. We need to talk about them because one of them is Suka Game Planet, right? Mm-hmm. You've played quite a bit of this. January 5th for 37 or no. For $3.75, or the Switch version is $2.99. Mm-hmm. And you enjoying your time with it?
I have enjoyed my time with it. I think ultimately Suika Game Planet is a much better executed game than the original Suika game. And that game took the world by storm. People loved Suika Game or Watermelon Game, however you want to phrase it. Yeah. But it was like a cheap little like $5 experience that you could get on the Switch. And now on the Switch 2 version of this, I mean, they're bringing it in, and you get game share, local communication. It's kind of like a Tetris-y, Puyo Puyo kind of experience where you're combining fruits to try to get to a watermelon. And the way that this gimmick works in this version of the game is, instead of having a column that you're dropping the fruits down into, you have a planet, and there's gravity effects that are pulling them toward the center of the core, and it's still the same basic gameplay loop where your goal is to get to a watermelon, but the gimmick is a little bit different. I think when this was originally shown off in a direct, I literally said out loud, who asked for this? And now that I've played it, I'm like, oh no, wait, this is way better than the first one. I like this a lot. Yeah. The only thing I will say is that the first Suika game later on came out with a DLC that allowed you to be able to play multiplayer, and you could pay a little bit extra for that. This one, the only way to do any kind of like multiplayer is to do local game share and have the Switch 2 version of it. So you can local game share with Switch and Switch 1, and it opens up this cooperative multiplayer mode that's pretty solid. There's like another $1.70 DLC for this game that gives you actually like solar system theme. So you've got all these different themes for your planet, your backgrounds, your fruits, your character that's dropping the fruit. Like it's a pretty cool little experience, and for $3.75, it's not something that you're going to regret. I mean, it's cheaper than every other dollar menu that's out there. So like, it's cheaper than what you can buy at most of the items at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Suka Game Planet, it's out now. And then the other game, sir, Tomba Special Edition for the Nintendo Switch 2. This came out last year for the Switch, and now you can go ahead and pick this one up for $19.99. There's no upgrade for the first one. There's no upgrade path, sadly. But yeah, if you enjoyed Tomba, give it a go. Tomba 2, I think it came out already, but we're just waiting on the Switch 2 edition of that. But for now, we got Tomba. exclamation point special edition on the Nintendo Switch 2 for $19.99. Came out yesterday, January 5th. Just out of nowhere. It wasn't listed this time last week.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Same with Suika game. That's why we're getting some of these like backlog. I'm so sick of having games that just like surprise drop on us and we don't have time to tell people about them. So like they need to fix that. They need to stop it. They need to just stop it. So yeah. Oh man, but that does bring us to the next segment of the show, which is Pixmin. And in this segment of the show, it's our game show segment. Chris has exactly 1 minute to guess a game based on a very pixelated image that is going to show up on the screen. And the faster he guesses, the more points he gets. And we're just like, whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. But Chris, tell me when you're ready and we'll go and throw it over to Pixmin, my good sir. You ready?
I think I'm already ready already. Yeah.
All righty, let's get this going in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Okay, there's a lot of dark colors. We're looking at a lot of dark colors here. It looks like maybe a fighting game of some kind. There looks like there's two people looking at each other. I can't quite make out who these characters are or what I'm looking at, but it definitely looks like maybe the one on the right is this Alien vs Predator? No.
Yes, ding 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 ding. What? You got it. It is Alien vs Predator for the Super Nintendo, releasing in Japan January 8th, 1993. Alien vs Predator was a beat-em-up video game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, developed by Jaruden and published by Information Global Service in Japan by Activision internationally. An arcade game of the same title was released by Capcom 8 months later, but the two games are very different and their storylines are unrelated to each other. When this released, it did not get very good reviews at all. Famitsu gave it a 6 out of 10, a 5 out of 10. Depending on platform that you were playing it on. Games Master gave it a 15%. Hyper gave it a 71 out of 100, but the official Nintendo magazine cited it with a 49%. So, like, it was pretty maligned when it launched. I do love the Alien vs. Predator franchise as a whole. I like Alien and I like Predator. I don't know how you guessed that either. I was so surprised. Congratulations on your 36
your
points.
Face.
I was like,
face when I said it.
I couldn't believe it. Oh my gosh. Keyword Xavier in the live chat says it is a terrible game he's played.
I mean, I believe it. Yeah.
Oh man, how can it be so bad? Like, how can you mess it up? It's literally monsters versus monsters. It should be fun. It should
right, but
absolutely
sometimes
be
these
fun.
games were based on like other games that were only out in Japan at the time, and then they just kind of reskinned them to make them, and so that's part of the problem.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that does bring us to the last little bit of the show here, and it's extra Nintendo news. We don't have anything new from My Nintendo or Nintendo Music, which is crazy because Nintendo Music has skipped 2 weeks in a row. My Nintendo hasn't had any additional items or any wallpapers or anything get launched on there. I was expecting a January wallpaper, and here we are, like already 5 days into it, 6 days into it, and there's no new wallpaper, but you know, what can we say? But as far as NSO icons go, there is an NSO icon rerun going. It's been going on for the last week and a half. Mario Kart World is available right now, so if you want to be able to get some Mario Kart World icons, you can pop on there and claim those now. We did get a new wave of special Animal Crossing icons featuring Tom Nook, Cap'n, Leilani, Grams, not Gross. I mistyped that on the notes. And Layla. Those are available until February 2nd to kind of celebrate the upcoming Animal Crossing Switch 2 edition that's coming out on the 15th. And the monthly play and redeem icons have changed for Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones, and Game & Watch Gallery 3 sets. So if you play any of the corresponding games on the Nintendo Classics apps, you can claim those anytime during January. Sales and deals. NIS America is doing a sale that's available for the next 5 days. You can get a deal on games like Disgaea 7 Complete, Prinny 1-2, and RPG Maker With, which sounds like not the end of the sentence, but it is. That's the title of it, RPG Maker With. Demos There's a pretty cool one. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is getting a demo. Save data for that game will carry over, and if you play it, you will get Maribel's Day Off dress for the full release of the game. Demo becomes available on January 7th. This weekend, Splatoon 3's Frosty Fest returns January 9th through January 11th. Who do you spend the holidays with? Friends, family, or solo are the teams. And Tetris Maximus Cup just got announced for Thursday. Snag an Animal Crossing Switch 2 Edition theme by scoring enough points during the event. News highlights. McDonald's is launching a new TCG promo for Pokemon's 30th anniversary. Doug Bowser retired and Devin Pritchard began her tenure as Nintendo of America president. And Splatoon 3 got a PEGI rating for Switch 2 as well as Pikmin 3 last week. So maybe we're going to be looking at Switch 2 editions of those games, but there's already been like updates for those to make them more compatible with Switch 2. So I don't really understand the thinking there, but hopefully we get some really cool news soon. Chris, where can they find you, my good sir?
You can find my Linktree, Super Nintendo Linktree. Give it a gander, give it a look-see, and go from there.
Absolutely.
What about you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/NerdWirePlays occasionally, or just go to my website and find all my social media garbage there, nerdwireplays.com. Remember, you can catch all of our past episodes in video form at YouTube at youtube.com/@the-Nintendo-Rewind. Visit our site for links to all of our social media garbage over at nintendorewind.com. Consider supporting the show while you're there. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can catch us live weekly Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch and YouTube. We love your faces. Remember, be kind and rewind, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.
Secret episode tomorrow. Toodaloo.